With Transformers Galactic Trials coming out in less than a month, I wanted to take a look at other racing games and see what it can learn from and possibly even do better than the competition today. Racing games is a really hard thing to get right and to get people actually interested in playing, because racing games, at least some of them, have a really large skill curve and just aren't fun to me, especially ones that aren't arcade racers or kart racers, which we'll be talking about. Stuff like Forza Motorsports, I could never get into. It's just really boring to me because it's like safe racing, and I feel like I'm not really allowed to open up and do my own thing. Forza Horizon, on the other hand, sure, I don't really enjoy the racing as much, but it's more diverse because you can just go around a giant open world, and I found myself just getting lost in the open world as opposed to actually racing. Racing was just a means to an end, so I could find more cars, develop my garage, and then spray paint them to look like Transformers using the library. As a kid, really only two kart racing titles shaped my perception of what makes a good racing game that I played endlessly, over and over again. The first one, everyone should be familiar with.
Here we go!
You might be asking yourself, why is Mario the gold standard? Why is this the king of the kart racing genre? It's because of its iconic characters and locations from the Mario universe. Characters like Waluigi, Bowser, Donkey Kong, Luigi, Mario, Peach, Dry Bones. Maps like Rainbow Road, Princess Peach's Castle, Bowser's Castle, Coconut Mall, and Luigi's Mansion. These are just some things that spice up the game and make fans like me happy, and I want that for Transformers Galactic Trials. I want to see more characters after launch. I want to see online multiplayer. I want to play with my friends, and I want to play in some of the most iconic places in the Transformers universe. Maybe not a lot of you know this next one, but for me, holds a special place in my heart.
Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing!
Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, as well as Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, are some of my favorite racing games of all time. And I think they share a lot of similarities with what Transformers Galactic Trials is trying to do. A lot of the items are like missile launchers, grenades, explosives, C4, as well as every character has something called an All-Star move. This is basically an ultimate ability you can get, and it's different for each character, and I believe seeing how Transformers Galactic Trials is going to have different abilities and different items and level up your skill tree and characters with the roguelike mode, I don't see why we can't have Optimus use some kind of Matrix Blast, Megatron pull out his Riot Cannon and do an ultimate shot. The possibilities are really endless with this sort of thing. As well as in Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, you go underwater, you fly through the air, and your kart actually transforms. I think Sonic and All-Stars Racing is the closest thing to Transformers Galactic Trials if you want to prepare for that game. Honestly, there's never been a racing game where you just switch to robot mode and then you transform and attack other players, which will make Transformers Galactic Trials really stand out as a unique experience. Alright. We covered the good, but now I'm skipping over the bad, going straight to...
Except you gave me the ugly! What am I gonna do?
Fortnite is a game that needs no introduction. Originally, it was a zombie tower defense game, but then it quickly evolved into a battle royale game, and then recently they tried their hand at different types of game modes while continuing to update the old ones. No, not the zombie one. They haven't updated that since 2020. They took that one out back behind the bar.
This is going to hurt.
Now, I'm talking about rocket racing, and what I think Transformers Galactic Trials can learn from this abysmal experience. If you didn't already know, Epic Games bought out the company that created Rocket League and decided that they wanted to add elements in a new game mode into Fortnite that borrowed from Rocket League. There was a direct correlation. Some of your Rocket League items could be used in Fortnite, and you can even get the crew pass and it'll give you the Rocket Pass for free, which is awesome. It's a really good deal, especially if you like both games. But the problems with Rocket Racing start off where it began. It only had a ranked play, nothing else, in a few stagnant maps that, depending on your rank, would actually get harder, which is pretty cool. They'd add more obstacles, they'd make the map layout slightly different, and it's honestly really cool. And you can use pretty much any car you want, and you're not really penalized for using certain cars. You can customize them by buying stuff from the item shop. And eventually they added stuff like time trials, a tutorial, as well as casual racing. But at the beginning, they didn't have anything except for ranked. And when you're in ranked setting, I expect your game to work. I've had games where I spawn underneath the map, and then I can't do anything except respawn, and I'm immediately at a disadvantage, which I'll get into in a second. Also, a lot of this game is about going fast and precise movements, flipping your car at the exact point, taking that turn just right in order to not hit anything, but building up your boost gauge in order to make it ahead of the other people. And with no catch-up mechanic in sight, you'd think, oh, well, the game must run beautifully, it must handle like a dream. Nope. Sometimes you'll spin your car around in order to latch onto a wall because Rocket League, you can drive on walls, on the ceiling. It's actually pretty cool when it works. Sometimes I'll flip my car and it will explode. When I'm trying to get a very precise jump, I'll be going too fast and I'll just burn up and explode. And since rank play is so important in most of the challenges you do in the game in order to earn free cosmetics or XP, which is the only reason you'd really be playing it. Now, how does the ranking system work? Well, earlier ranks, depending on how high you get, say if I got first place, I get a pretty good chunk of my rank. Now obviously you want people playing long term, so obviously you slow it down, but I'm in champion, and it is a crawl. I will get first place. Oh, no, I guess I won't. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, let me pull out my ruler. Yeah, I was ahead of him. This happens a lot where your ping or connection to the server or host advantage or whatever will decide whether, oh, you actually crossed the finish line before he did. I've had times where my entire car goes past the finish line and only then will it count. And by that point, 3 people have passed me because, like I said, it is down to a T. It is pinpoint perfection. If you are a pixel off, you will not catch up and your rank will be ruined. Losing usually penalizes you about 5 to 10 points sometimes, which, considering I will get first place and sometimes it just won't give me a percentage, or it won't give me that much, is egregious. I feel like my time is not respected at all. I hope Transformers Galactic Trials does not fall into any of these pitfalls. The ranking system is abysmal, the game controls terribly. Most of the maps are way too small for 12 people. So, along the sides, there's a road, and then there's the guardrail, but between the road and the guardrail, there's sand, and sand slows you down so fast. And there's player collision in this game, and since the road is so small, and you can have pretty big vehicles with pretty big hitboxes, a lot of the time, the game will prioritize whoever is hitting the other person first, and push that poor soul into the sand, and then you're back in last place, and like I said, it's near impossible to catch up. I cannot go into how terribly flawed this game mode is, but hopefully you see what I mean. But yes, unfortunately, Rocket Racing is kind of the direct competitor to Transformers Galactic Trials. Both are arcade racers, and will have an online multiplayer. eventually. And who knows what Galactic Trials will do for seasonal content or updates, new characters, maps. So unfortunately, people are going to compare the two, and Rocket Racing is free and Galactic Trials is $49.99, but hopefully that means free DLC, there's going to be constant updates, seeing as they are implementing Shattered Glass. Let's just hope Galactic Trials does it right, because there's so much potential in a Transformers racing game. Outright Games may not have been you or I's first pick to develop this and undertake that responsibility, but I want to see what they can do first before we all tear it to shreds. Because even as a kid, I really wanted a Transformers racing game, and I'm so surprised that no one's ever really attempted it before. Racing across the Icon Speedways in Transformers War for Cybertron, co-op campaign, or just against the AI was some of my favorite parts of playing that game. But let me know what you guys think about Galactic Trials. And will you be picking it up? I'll be streaming it here on YouTube the day it comes out. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video, and I'll see you at the Speedia 500. Bye guys.